Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee today, Friday, the 18th of July, 2025. Agenda item 1, declarations of interest. Has anybody any declarations of interest at all? No, thank you. Item 2, minutes of the meeting held on the 1st of July. Happy with those? Okay. Seconded, thank you. Item number 2, again it says here, but item number 3, I guess. Application under section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003, POPDOM 143 Kingston Road, Willoughby. I have a paragraph of stuff to read here, which I'll just go through. These proceedings are being recorded, and in the event of an appeal to the Magistrates' Court, a transcript will be provided to the court. Please bear in mind that whilst this is not a court of law, all parties will be given a fair hearing. All parties have had a copy of the procedure which will be adhered to. Can I ask all parties present to state their name and why they are present for the purpose of this recording? I'll start it off. I'm Councillor John Dennis. I'm the chairman of this subcommittee.
I'm Councillor Dale Needham, ward member for Pocklington Provincial and a member of this committee.
Councillor Rick Aaron, member of the committee.
Jenny Kilvington, solicitor for the council.
Louise Wilson, Health, Safety and Licensing Service Manager for the council, here to represent the licensing authority.
Faye Glascott, Principal Health, Safety and Licensing Officer, representing the licensing authority.
My name is Madhusudan Ilanganathan, current Papadam owner. Oh,
Thank you.
My name is Kim Japaran. I'm the legal representative for Mr. Madhusudan Ilanganathan.
My name is James Lee Better, Immigration Officer, warrant number 8066 on behalf of Immigration Enforcement, the applicant.
John Wiley, Committee Manager.
Thank you, everyone. I can confirm that members have read all the documents provided by the parties. Further documents will not be accepted unless all parties agree. Are there any additional documents?
Can I check if you've received our client's witness statement?
The latest one, yes, we did. Thank you.
I do have a copy of his divorce, which is relevant to the witness statement. But
Okay, thank you. Further, actually, it says here, I think I just read this, further documents will not be accepted unless all parties agree. Do we agree that additional documents can be submitted? Happy with that?
Well,
Yeah.
Chairman, the immigration team would also have to accept as well because they
Okay.
will not have seen those documents either.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine
We're
with me.
happy with that. Okay, thank you. Do the parties wish to call witnesses?
the only witness we have is our client, Mr. Madhusudan.
Sorry, can you just put the microphone a bit nearer to you because it's just not.
Sorry, the only witness we have is our client, Mr. Madhusudan.
Okay, thank you.
And it's just myself for the applicant
Thank
as
you.
well.
Right. And do the parties wish to ask questions of each other? I presume you do, but
Yes, we have a few questions for immigration enforcement.
okay.
Not at the moment, but obviously I'd like
may.
the opportunity if possible.
Right, okay. Can I remind you of the time limits for the hearing? Opening statements, 3 minutes. Evidence from any witness, 2 minutes each. Questions of any other party or witness, 3 minutes. Summing up, 2 minutes. Are the applicant and license holder content with the time limits? And we are flexible with such things. Don't worry, we'll never stick to them.
Yes, I'm content with it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Could I just mention one thing? Could I just ask for a clarification of your client's name? I don't know if it's been mispronounced, but we've got it as Mr. Ilanganathan. Is that correct? That's fine. Thank you.
I now call upon the licensing officer regarding any updates in relation to the matter to be discussed.
Thank you, Chair. Additional papers were received 16th of July, which included a witness statement from the current licensee and land registration document relating to 143 Kingston Road, Willoughby.
Thank you. Thank you. So back to the licensing officer again to outline the report and any relevant parts of the licensing policy.
Thank you, Chair. This review application was made on the 28th of May 2025 by Immigration Enforcement Licensing Compliance Team for a review of a premise licence under Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003. The review relates to the premises known as Poppadom 143 Kingston Road, Willoughby. The application and supporting evidence is shown in full at Appendix 1 of your report. The Immigration Enforcement Licensing Compliance Team respectfully submits that the premise licence holder has failed to meet the licensing objective to prevent the crime and disorder as illegal workers have been identified at the premises. On the 17th of January 2025, immigration officers entered the premises known as Poppadom at approximately 8:40 p.m. Present at the premises were 6 individuals believed all to be workers. All 6 individuals were identified as working illegally and subsequently arrested as they did not have the right to work in the UK. The review application has been advertised in accordance with the Act by public notice on the premises, at the main offices of the Licensing Authority and on the Council's website. No representations were received from any other responsible authority or relevant persons. When an application review of a premise licence is received by the Licensing Authority, in line with the provisions of Section 52(4) of the Licensing Act 2003, the subcommittee has the following options available to them as shown at 6.1 of your report, which are to modify the conditions of the licence, to exclude a licensable activity from the scope of the licence, to remove the designated premise supervisor, to suspend the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months, to revoke the licence. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Can we now have the opening statement and witnesses, if any, of the Immigration Enforcement Licensing Compliance Team?
Thank you. I would like to first confirm that all committee members have had time to read the submission pack. Thank you. I don't propose to read through the full pack, but I will make a couple of key points before I summarise the case. The ability to work illegally is a key driver of illegal migration. It encourages people to break the UK's immigration laws and provides the practical means for migrants to remain unlawfully in the UK. It encourages people to take risks in trying to enter the UK illegally by putting their lives in the hands of unscrupulous people smugglers and leave them vulnerable to exploitative employers. Illegal working results in businesses that are not playing by the rules and undercutting legitimate businesses that are. It also negatively impacts on the wages of lawful workers and can be linked to other labour market abuse such as tax evasion, breach of the national minimum wage and exploitative working conditions. Working illegally is a criminal offence, and on conviction in England and Wales, an illegal worker may receive a custodial sentence of up to 6 months and an unlimited fine.
Can I just intervene for a moment?
Okay. Apologies. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Chairman, false hand. He's saying sorry about that. I'm really sorry. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. I'll start from the last paragraph. Sorry. Working illegally is a criminal offence, and on conviction in England and Wales, an illegal worker may receive a custodial sentence of up to 6 months and an unlimited fine. Employing illegal workers undermines the licence objectives, specifically the prevention of crime and disorder. Immigration enforcement do not just drive around looking for businesses to target. We are intelligence-led, and there have to be significant concerns for us to action incoming intelligence. We do not routinely seek a licence review, but we do so in cases where we have heightened concerns. So to summarise, on the 17th of January 2025, the Yorkshire and Humber Immigration Compliance and Enforcement Team visited Popdom at 143 Kingston Road, Willoughby, East Riding of Yorkshire, HU 106AL. Entry was gained to the premises under Section 179 of the Licensing Act 2003, following the receipt of intelligence alleging that illegal working was taking place at the premises and staff were living in the accommodation above. Upon entering, immigration officers swept the premises and a total of 12 people were working at the premises. 4 were seen upon entry in the bar restaurant area, and 8 more were located in the back area, containing the kitchen, storage area, and rear access to the business. 6 of the individuals encountered were arrested, 2 of which had overstayed visas, and the 4 remaining were known to the Home Office and did not hold the right to work in the UK. Mr. Ilanga Nathan wasn't present at the address at the time of the visit, and attempts to call him were unanswered. It appeared clear to me at the time that the premises was being managed by Yathu Kulakana Ravanathan. There were several food hygiene certificates in his name on the wall to corroborate that. In the representations submitted by the licence holder, he admits that he asked Yathu Kulakana Ravanathan to take over the business, and since April 2003, Ravanathan has been running the restaurant. Ravanathan himself did not hold the right to work in the UK and was arrested during the visit. Full details of the 6 workers can be found in the review application submitted. The guidance clearly states that right to work checks should be completed for all prospective employees, as per the Employer's Guide to Right to Work Checks, Section 3. These should have been followed, and the licence holder could have prevented illegal working at the premises. The Home Office provides a free right to work check system on the gov.uk website. Using this checking service would have highlighted that all 6 illegal workers did not have the relevant right to work. In addition, it was noted that CCTV was not functioning, which is a breach of their licensing conditions. There was also poor food hygiene practices demonstrated in the kitchen. Another concern noted by officers when conducting illegal working interviews was that some workers admitted to receiving low pay, food and accommodation in return for their work. This is an example of exploiting vulnerable people. When officers conducted searches of the accommodation above for identity documents, the workers were residing in really poor conditions, overcrowded rooms, alongside stock for the business and a lack of basic amenities, posing a health risk to all occupants living in the premises. The outcome sought is Section 182 guidance at points 11.27 and 11.28, outlining that employing illegal workers should be treated particularly seriously, and revocation of the licence should be seriously considered, even in the first instance. The employment of illegal workers has been evidenced along with a breach of the licence conditions. Labour exploitation concerns alongside health and safety, food hygiene concerns have been noted. It is especially concerning that the licence holder failed to uphold the licence objectives by simply putting an illegal worker in charge of the premises. We have no confidence that imposing further conditions, changing the DPS, or suspending the licence would remedy the situation. Therefore, we submit revocation of the licence is wholly reasonable in this case. Thank you. Excuse me, sorry, I have a slight little bit more. I thought it was not summing up. I apologise. All of that being said, we recognise that our role is to bring these concerns to your attention as the local licensing authority. This is your area, and it's you that answer to the electorate and represent the interests of local people. Unless I can answer any specific questions, I don't propose to take any more of your time, and I thank you for your attention and considerations.
Thank you. Yes. Do you have any questions?
regarding his statement?
Yes.
Not at the current time now.
Okay, thank you very much. You have any questions? Okay.
Really, it's a question on legality. Obviously, prior to receiving this statement, it seemed very clear who the licence holder is or was, and that is retained under the licensee here. Does this alter the situation that we're looking at today from a legal perspective, in as much as that business is allegedly transferred to another licensee, although they're not obviously registered? Thank you.
Obviously, the licence officer may clarify this, but my understanding is Mr. Langanathan is the licensee. He's never transferred that to anyone else. So as far as the licensing authority are concerned, it's all his name. But there was one thing that I wanted the officer to clarify, and just the name you mentioned, because obviously there may be some mispronunciation. Is it Mr. Ravanathan that you were saying was present on the day? Because I don't think it's mentioned in your report, and he's the person you've referred to as being present and saying that he...
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Is he also the person that you're saying was illegally working there as well?
Yes, he was not permitted to work, but he was believed to be in charge of the premises at the time.
Thank you.
May just be helpful to give you one further point of clarification in relation to that. Since October 2022, the gentleman here today as the licence holder has remained on our records as the licence holder during that time, and all contact we've had since that period of time has been with the email address belonging to Mr. Langathan. And we have had confirmation that he did receive the review papers and everything else through that same email address. And that email address has been used on a number of occasions to pay annual fees since 2022 also. And the other thing for your information is we haven't ever received a transfer application, and part of the legal process to transfer a premises licence involves evidence of your right to work and live in the UK.
Any further questions?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a question. It's really of the licensee. I also am a DPS in licensed premises. I don't know whether I should have declared that as an interest, but I'm not really sure that's relevant at this stage.
Is it a question of the licensee that will come later in the process?
Okay,
Yeah.
so right, I shall retain that particular question then. Thank you.
Don't think so. I think we've no more questions to ask then as well. No. Okay. The licence holder is now permitted to make an opening statement and call witnesses.
Thank you. Can I just check that the council have a copy of the client's witness statement and they have read it?
Not this one.
This representation is submitted in accordance with Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003 and the associated guidance issued under Section 182 of the Act. It is made in response to the application by the Secretary of State via Immigration Enforcement for the review of the above referenced premises licence on the grounds of the prevention of crime and disorder licensing objective following allegations of illegal working. Mr. Langanathan is the premises holder of Popdom 143 Kingston Road, Willoughby, Hull. But at the material time, he was not in day-to-day control or management of the business operations. In or around April 2023, he transferred full operational responsibility for the premises to a trusted acquaintance, Mr. Yadakula Khanna Ravinathan, under an informal arrangement due to personal circumstances, which prevented him from actively managing the business. This has been addressed in his witness statement, resulting in personal issues and mental health issues as well. He transferred this to Mr. Yadakula Khanna under intense stress and the inability to manage the business at the time. This included delegation of responsibilities such as staffing and employment decisions, compliance with immigration, licensing and employment law, supervision of trading hours and licensable activities, communication with authorities. It is mentioned in the statement that he has continuously requested that Mr. Yadakula Khanna transfer the premises license into his name. Obviously, the reason as to why that never happened is material now. He did not receive any financial benefit or regular updates relating to the ongoing management. He was not consulted or made aware of any employment practices adopted by Mr. Yadakula Khanna Ravinathan. It must be noted that there is no personal involvement in this alleged criminal conduct. He had no knowledge of any individuals working at the premises without valid immigration status or permission to work in the UK. He was not present at the premises during the immigration enforcement visit, nor was he the person named at the enforcement visit as the manager. He had no involvement in the recruitment, vetting, or payment of staff employed at the time, and he has never been cautioned, interviewed, uncautioned, or prosecuted in relation to this incident. While he accepts that he remained the license holder and retained legal responsibilities under the Licensing Act, he respectfully submits that he was not the person in actual control or occupation of the premises at the relevant time, and that the alleged conduct occurred without his knowledge or consent. Since the intervention from the Home Office, he has taken steps to remedify the situation and his willingness to cooperate. He has terminated this informal arrangement with Mr. Ravinathan. He has retaken control of the premises. He has sought professional licensing advice, and he has made arrangements to implement comprehensive right to work and identity checks for all future and new employees. In line with Home Office guidance. He is fully committed to ensuring that the premises operates in accordance with all 4 licensing objectives, and we welcome the opportunity to work constructively with the licensing authority and relevant responsible authorities. We do wish to state, in accordance with the Home Office guidance 11.17, there is nothing preventing the licensing authority issuing an informal warning to the license holder or to recommend improvement within a particular period of time. Thank you. Sorry. We do wish to submit 11.27 of the guidance as well, where the licensing authority should seek to establish the causes of the concerns that the review application identifies. The remedial action taken should generally be directed at these causes and should always be no more than an appropriate and proportionate response, given the unique facts of this case, including the lack of active involvement or knowledge of the alleged breaches, the steps that our client has taken post-incident to rectify the situation, and his willingness to cooperate with the relevant authorities. We respectfully submit that a proportionate response in this case would be short of revocation and may include suspension of the license, removal and replacement of the DPS, or imposition of additional conditions to ensure future compliance. Revocation of the premises license will be a disproportionate response in circumstances where the license holder did not participate in or profit from the alleged unlawful conduct and has taken steps to remediate the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask, does the Immigration Enforcement Licensing Compliance team have any questions?
Just a confirmation, if possible, please. Obviously, the license holders stated that they transferred all responsibility for running the business to the gentleman mentioned, who's Mr. Ravinathan, in April 2023. Can I just confirm that at that point, that particular individual right to work check, were any right to work checks done on that individual prior to doing this transfer?
Mr. Ravinathan is an acquaintance of his who has employment in many other places. So under the severe pressure and the mental state of our client at the time, this was why he handed it over.
Any further questions?
No, nothing further, thank you.
Does the subcommittee have any questions? Okay.
John, am I okay to ask questions of the applicant, the licensee? Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I will go to repeat myself again. as a DPS, you have a certain amount of responsibility, a legal responsibility for the premises and activities that are undertaken on such premises. And my concern is that if you're handing over a business with a license in April 2023, you made no effort to actually transfer your DPS and premises license to the new applicant. You state that you had requested that they apply for the DPS statement, but you are currently holding that and still hold that some 2 years later. And I'm just wondering why you've made no effort to actually transfer your DPS statement, DPS status rather, on those premises if you are not responsible for them. Thank you.
As stated in the witness statement, our client did make multiple attempts to ask him to transfer the premises license and the DPS into Mr. Yadakula Khanna's name. At the time that this the business was taken over by Mr. Ravi Nathan, and the time this all happened, our client was going through a divorce, and this affected his personal life and his professional life. On top of that, he lost his brother-in-law, which then left his sister-in-law taking care of 6 kids by herself. So his personal circumstances became a priority over his professional life, and he was unable to manage both of them properly. So transferring the premises license was not at the top of his priority at the time that it was passed to Mr. Ravi Nathan.
I have a supplementary question.
Yeah, of course.
I can appreciate that it's a very emotional and stressful time to go through, but we're talking about 2 years down the road, and obviously the licensee is sitting here applying at this particular review meeting, and clearly the seriousness has taken on board because you're present at this particular meeting. But why did you not transfer and notify the licensing authority weeks ago, months ago, or even prior to this inspection by immigration officers? I don't quite understand, because obviously a long time has passed between your personal circumstances, which were very stressful, and this particular date while we're sitting here in this committee. Thank you.
Obviously, the profound effect of the personal situation he was in took a toll on our client's mental health, and it took him a long time to come out of it. He assumed Mr. Ravi Nathan had full control. It was only when immigration enforcement did visit the premises that he knew that everything had not gone as he'd been told. That's when he intervened, and he tried to, I guess, fix the situation. He did his best to do so. He does accept he should have taken more care in transferring the license over, but that's a mistake he has to accept, and he's sitting here now in front of you for that.
Yes, Rick.
Thank you. Just to clarify, at the time of the raid, it was Mr. Ravinathan who was arrested,
He was one of the individuals arrested, yes.
and he had no right to work in the UK.
That's correct, yes.
So I'll ask yourselves, did it not ever occur to you to check that he had no right to work in the UK, and was you aware of this, and when did you become aware of it?
So our client has known Mr. Ravi Nathan for years, and he knew that Mr. Ravi Nathan was employed elsewhere, and Mr. Ravi Nathan wanted to run his own business. Considering the circumstances, our client let him take over the business. It must be noted that everybody, the Home Office, the illegal workers at the Home Office, apart from Mr. Ravi Nathan, which we weren't aware of until right now, was one of the 6 workers. Everybody else has only been employed by the establishment for a maximum 8 months. There was no one more than 8 months. So when Mr. Madhusudan was running the business, it was all compliant. It was after he gave it to Mr. Yadakula Khanna, and only 8 months from when Home Office intervened, these workers have been there. So up until the person who was working there, the latest he's been working there is 8 months. So everyone is only recent. And not one of them knew Mr. Madhusudan. No one has listed him as the employer. No one has listed as knowing who he is, and they have no contact with Mr. Madhusudan either.
You happy with that?
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay, thank you. We've gone through the procedure. It's now time for summing up. So the Immigration Enforcement Licensing Compliance Team, can we have your summing up?
Thank you. Excuse me. The Home Office does not wish to be involved in unnecessarily restricting genuine community services such as pubs, restaurants or shops. However, there are concerns over the way that this business was being run as discussed. There needs to be some remedy to that behaviour and a significant way of ensuring that it will not be repeated. This should also serve a clear message to other businesses who are fully compliant with relevant legislation that satisfactory action has been taken. We have outlined our position. The premises licence holder, Mr. Madhusudan Elanganathan, is ultimately responsible for the illegal working and the breaches of the licence at the premises. The licence holder has been unable to uphold the existing conditions of his licence. Therefore, Immigration Enforcement has no confidence in the licence holder being able to uphold any further conditions added to the licence or promote the licensing objectives going forward. We have presented evidence to inform the committee's considerations and to draw to its attention the significant risk of the prevention of crime and disorder objective being undermined. In line with the guidance, the Home Office is seeking for the subcommittee to consider revoking the premises licence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we've been through that. Yes. So thank you for explaining your situation. Now's the time for summing up. If you feel the need to sum up what you've said, this is the opportunity.
In light of the circumstances outlined above, we respectfully submit that the Licensing Committee should consider this case in its full context. And we understand that the employment of individuals without lawful status to work is a serious matter, but it is important to consider the specific facts of this case, that he did not knowingly permit or facilitate the employment of illegal workers. He has since carried out proper right to work checks, and he is maintaining a record, including the CCTV records that are now available upon request. To revoke the license would be a disproportionate way to minimize all crime or prevention. In terms of the other such as suspension of the premises license is too harsh compared to replacement or review of the designated premises supervisor, and we consider to revoke the premises license would be too much of a harsh punishment for Mr. Madhusudan, whose livelihood is in this restaurant, along with his new members of staff and the community, as Popdom is the only South Asian Sri Lankan restaurant in Willoughby. So to revoke the premises license would affect the customers' satisfaction in the community, as well as the livelihoods of the customers and the new staff that work there who are adhering to immigration controls, as well as Mr. Madhusudan. We sincerely believe that revocation of the premises license in this case will be unduly harsh and disproportionate, particularly given the lack of direct culpability and the absence of any prior history of non-compliance and the positive steps that he has taken to rectify the situation. He remains fully cooperative and open to any recommendations made by the committee, and we ask that the specific facts of this case is considered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we're going on to policy advice now. Yeah. So policy advice from the licensing officer, please.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of small ones today. Mention has been made on a number of occasions by both parties around the revocation of the licence. Just for members' information to confirm that the revocation of the premises licence today would just remove the premises' right to sell alcohol and provide late night refreshment. The premises still can continue to trade without a premises licence in place. And secondly, just to remind members that we have provided within the report all the sections of the statutory 182 guidance that are relevant to today's case, and also anything in relation to the local policy that you may find helpful is all there within the report for you. But other than that, there's no further policy advice from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. Legal advice from the legal advisor, please.
And so in respect of legal advice, I would just like to remind the members that all licensing determinations should be considered on a case-by-case basis and on their own merits, taking into account representations from the immigration officer and also the legal representation from Mr. Langanathan. The determination has to be evidence-based and justified as being appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives and proportionate to what is intended to achieve. It is imperative that you ensure that the factors which form the basis of your determination are limited to consideration of the promotion of the licensing objectives, in particular prevention of crime and disorder in this case. So I'd refer you to the guidance that has been mentioned by both parties, but in particular licensing officers, stating that the prevention of crime does include the prevention of illegal working in licensed premises. Certain criminal activity should be treated particularly seriously, including a person who is disqualified from working in the UK due to their immigration status. It is expected revocation of the licence, even in the first instance, should be seriously considered. You also have all the other options open to you, as I outlined in the report, to modify conditions, to exclude a licence activity, to remove the DPS, to suspend the licence for up to 3 months, and to revoke the licence. So at this stage, that's my legal advice to you.
Thank you very much. So we're going into the situation of private deliberation. Sorry, I'm losing my position on the agenda. We're now going into private deliberations by the subcommittee. So can I ask you all to please leave the room and